for our purposes, we're not going to go into advanced form today. No, let's just take forum. This is just any forum that you want to add. This is a discussion. And remember that when you design a discussion, you give it a name, and if you grade it, it will automatically be a column. Will automatically be added to your grade book. So keep the forum names short so that you don't have your grade book this wide and you have to keep on scrolling back and forth. That hasn't changed. Okay, so just think about that. So I might say this is D1. How very nice. I know that stands for discussion 1. Again, you might want to give it a clue as to what discussion 1 was about. Maybe. Short and sweet though. So discussion 1 was about research for me. So go ahead and just decide what you want to do. Now, form type. Now here's where it's rather nice to click on the question mark, because you have some choices to make here, and each type is a different choice. So if you want a single, simple discussion, it's all on one page, and it's useful for focused discussions. That's usually what you want. If you have 30 people in your class, you want a short discussion. Standard form for general use, anybody can start a new topic. Let's not go there unless we really want to, especially if you have 30 students. And then each person posts one discussion. Now notice, it's not a reply to a discussion, it's a new discussion. You don't want that. Ordinarily, you may want a different type. And then question and answer, posting, viewpoints. So, and you see, more developments to come. So there are lots of choices. So we're just going to, for our purposes today, let's just do a single, simple discussion, because it's a threaded discussion, reply and discuss, and many, many people do this. So anyway, let's have a discussion, and let's do, this is the introduction to your discussion, so you're going to say something like, post to this discussion your point of view on the first class reading, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. You can say whatever you want. And then scroll down and let's take a look at what are the other things that you have to make a point about. Well, force everybody to be subscribed? No. If you have everyone subscribed, that means that every time a person replies to the discussion, you get an email in your Clark email saying, Sally posted. Okay? You don't want to do that. You're going to have 30 emails, right? So we say this is when you really say no strongly. You don't want emails. Yeah. Sometimes it's kind of nice to know whether somebody, posted, but you can always go to your course and take a look at the discussion. You don't need an email about it. So I think that's, and then read tracking. This is optional. Do you want it off or do you want it on? Now, if you want to have the discussion tracked and see everyone's contributions, you probably want that on. And aggregate type. Now this has to do with the grade. So some people choose to grade discussions, some don't. So it's up to you. If you're going to grade it, are you going to grade it on the average of ratings, on the count of ratings, maximum, minimum, or sum of ratings? Now, this isn't going to make a whole lot of sense until you set up your grading scale and the kinds of ratings you're going to do. But ordinarily, probably the grading type would be an average of the ratings. Okay, now, does that make sense? The grade, what scale is it? Oh, an integrated scale. Let's look at the choices of scales. These are built into Moodle. An integrated scale, and that is, they give you the choice of exemplary. It's kind of like a scale about, like you'd find on a rubric. it'd be exemplary, less than exemplary, however those categories are. Then a traditional A, B, C, D, E, F. Do you want that kind of it? So every person gets an A or a B or a C or a D on this particular discussion, because you can do that with each one. You can change it. But however, if you're really using the grading, you don't want it. You want it to be consistently the same. So we're going to have all numerical grades, all letter grades. You know how it goes. All right. Then expanded scale. I created this expanded scale because it's an A minus, a B plus, B minus. You know, see, not just strictly A, B, C, D, E, F. And you can just make your own scale, and that's what expanded is. And I just created that, and I called it expanded. I don't know if that's the greatest name in the world, but, or no grade at all. Okay. And then based on 100, you know. Or, again, if you were going to give each discussion, let's say it was going to be worth 5 points, then you would select 5. So lots of choices there, and that's a whole other workshop on how you're going to do your grade book. Okay. So, but sufficient for you to set those, you know, preferences, and then say save and display, so you can see what the student is going to, what it's going to look like to the student. So here is, and you see if you have a profile, you have your picture, whatever that is, on there. And I posted it, and you're to post to this discussion your point of view on the first reading. So the student just replies, okay, and writes it and posts it, just like similar to Blackboard. Now look down here. Here's that word again, subscription. I don't want email copies and post to this forum. Be sure you don't have hit send. Now, this is the other thing. You can browse and you can have your discussion questions on a file, and just bring them up as a file. The student answers them, and that's the way they post. So that's a choice. So that's something I think a lot of people use discussion, especially, of course, in the hybrid courses, maybe not so much in our face-to-face. So sufficient for that tool. And then I see life is passing, death approaching. Let's try one more thing. Let's go to activities now. We did forum. Let's do an assignment. Now, notice you have options again, right? And then here's all the other things. These are all the other resources you can create under this one menu. So if I were going to create an assignment, I'm going to say upload a single file really quickly. Here's the assignment name. Again, I'm going to call it A1, short and sweet. It's about, what will it be about?
A poem that you read.
A poem. Okay. Maybe let's call it a reflection. That's its name. And the reflection is about a poem. That's a summary or description. And actually, this would be your direction for, you know, when, where, how, what, etc. And then is the grade based on 100%? Is it a 20-point essay or a poem? Is it, you know, response? You decide how much it's worth according to your grading scale that you're following. You can have it available from a certain date. We have to change these dates because it's according to the courses. So it has to be like September. So unless you change this, you won't see it. So let's do that, September 22nd. And let's change May to September, and then it'll appear. Okay, now here are some more choices. Allow resubmissions? No. Once is enough for 35 students, right? Okay, email alert? No, thank you very much. I don't want to know. I'll figure it out when I look at my course. And then what the thought that I was. Okay, save and display. Oh, and here's a grade category again. So you can put them into a category. Whatever categories you have created in your grade book, these will appear here. So this would probably be a portfolio reflection. So it goes under categories. And then in your grade book, where you have categories and the categories are weighted, then that's how this is really works out quite nicely. Okay, so then you say save and display, and then you can see what the students will see. Then if you made a mistake and you want to, change the directions, they're not clear, then all you have to do is hit update, and then you can edit and change your mistakes or add to that. Okay, so we're back to the course, and then this afternoon we get to have lunch first, and our lunches are over here, and then you can come back and work here, and if you have individual questions, or if you want to look at an individual tool, or go deeper, or just kind of explore, and we're here to help you. Okay. Thank you very much.